In the following presentation, you will see 8 good qualities, 8 stresses, and 8 stress behaviors of the Enneagram type. Mark with a tick which apply to you. Enneagram Type 5. Fives are knowledgeable, and they have a mind that is like a vacuum for information. They will thoroughly investigate whatever subject interests them, knowing things in an amazing amount of detail. Fives normally have a large collection of books, and they are strongly attached to models and systems that explain how people interact with each other. In contrast to their neighbors, the fours, so we're moving from the heart center now to the mind center. 5, 6, and 7 are the mental triads. So in contrast to the neighbors, the fours, fives are the most emotionally withdrawn types. They withdraw physically from the world, like this monk here, to be alone with their thoughts and away from all the distractions of people and emotions. Fives can sit meditating alone for hours and are good at detaching from all the emotions that seem to run other people's lives. They just seem not to be as affected as much by them. Fives are observant people, and they notice things in their surroundings. They enjoy seeking understanding and putting pieces of the puzzle together. They observe nature, like this man here, and animals, and explore ideas and concepts in the mind. Fives have also the ability to detach from a conversation. So when they're having a conversation, they can detach from it, and they can observe themselves talking to the other person as if there was someone else watching from the outside. So that's quite a unique ability that fives have. Fives are independent people and can get by very easily by themselves. They don't expect much of others and are able to go about looking after their own needs. Fives enjoy working alone and looking after themselves, going about their business in their own way. They also prepare in advance so that any situation that they may be depleted or they may be drained is minimized. Fives are often wise and inventive. After studying a subject for many years, often in solitude, they can become experts at it. Then they create ideas where they can lead to breakthrough in many fields such as medicine, science, and philosophy. Fives can also provide thought leadership and ideas that can help humanity as a whole advance. Fives have very modest needs and are self-sufficient. They can get by alone with very little need for human contact. They can get the food they need to survive and are comfortable and content with less. Fives are quite happy to do their own thing and are resourceful in getting what they want without involving anyone else. In the same way, they do not want others to demand too much of them. Fives are intellectual and experts in their field. They enjoy sharing their knowledge with others, but especially those who can understand their thoughts. So fives are often found in academia, where their vast intellect is shared with students or other experts in their field. Fives can be very private people and rarely are attracted to wealth and material things. They can spend a lot of time in isolation from the world. This house on a rock in the middle of the lake would be the dream home of many fives. So in their private room here, without anyone around them, they're able to slowly get in touch with their feelings and process them more easily. And what stresses the five out? Fives are overburdened by needing to know everything about their chosen field. They believe if they don't have expertise, they will not be loved. 5s are mental types, and they interpret the world through their thoughts. So when the world of the 5 is knowledge should be, here are some of the thoughts and beliefs that comport into the mind of a 5. I need to learn more before I can come out. I'm starting to feel desires, needs, and wants. I'm developing strong emotions. I'm drained and depleted. I'm foolish and not recognized. I'm having my time, energy, and privacy intruded upon. I just don't know what is expected and required of me. I have nowhere to hide. And some of the behaviors that the type 5 will exhibit under stress are: 5s become isolated and they withdraw when they feel inadequate and they don't feel they have anything to say or contribute. They don't get involved, they don't ask for help, and they distance themselves far from others. They resign themselves to a life of isolation. They start to detach from their feelings of loneliness in the world, and they retreat deep into their mind, a refuge safe from invasion. They find personal interactions draining and become non-responsive, sending others a message that I can do without you. 5s contain their emotions and generally do not even know what they are feeling, and in relationship they struggle with the social expectations of others. They can retreat up into their mind to get away from others, and they observe how other people interact, which replaces being and doing. And in a social situation, they become quiet, self-conscious, and awkward. 5s hold on to what they have for fear of being drained and depleted. They become stingy and start hoarding. They minimize their needs, practice abstinence, and survive on very little. They feel small and incapable of defending themselves, so they shrink inwards and protect their knowledge, money, energy, space, and time. 5s separate different aspects of their life. They become more separate and compartmentalized, and the people in their lives are put into boxes where they don't get intermixed with each other. They do not integrate these boxes and only give these people access to certain aspects of their lives and not others. The 5 just puts a piece of themselves into every box. And in doing so, nobody gets to know them completely. 5s are sensitive to intrusions and need to be forewarned so they know what to expect. They're drained by open-ended events and so impose strong limits and boundaries on others so they know exactly what to expect, and so their space, time, agenda, and responsibilities are clearly defined. 5s become more estranged and disconnected from others. Information gathering and analysis substitutes for real-life interactions and wisdom gained from lived experiences. They create alternate realities where they can engage in the fantasies of power and control, like in the fantasy worlds of online gaming. 5s start to take a bizarre point of view, and they can often analyze the things that they find most terrifying. They can fill their minds with disturbing images and think about the dark side of life, like analyzing diseases or the internal organs of human beings, or becoming a horror film writer. 5s can get trapped in bizarre realities entirely of their own making and turn themselves and their work into haunting images. Do I scare you? 5s are extremely private people, and they withhold their feelings, censor information, and separate thinking from emotion. They go about preserving their secret lives, become invisible to protect themselves, maintain their independence, and continue their projects undisturbed. They search out for that secret place of knowledge and try to attain intellectual mastery in a certain area. Knowledge is power, and people are treated as a source to go to, where information can be sucked out of other people. So let's see Enneagram Type 5. So here's how you interpret your Enneagram test results. For each of the good qualities, stresses, and stress behaviors, you should have a score of 0 to 8. Take your stresses score and divide it by 2 and add it to your good qualities and stress behavior score for a total of 0 to 20. A result of 12 or more means you identify strongly with the Enneagram type. It could be either your core type, your wing, or you could be connected to the type by a line.